It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
And we're back on the Coach's Show, brought to you in part by State Farm agent Andy Womack. Also, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Alex Williams, Ron Reeves, Emerson Williams, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Talking Riverdale football this morning, and Will Kriesky is here after making the long trip to Maryville to take on the Rebels. And, Coach, I know the game didn't turn out like you wanted to, but, well, you were in it for the longest in that one last night.
Yeah, we were. We were in it for over three quarters. Kids played well. I got to be first of all, I got to thank my administration and everybody like at Riverdale, because with those trips, when you do trips like that, it takes everybody, involved, and everybody. Coach King, she did a phenomenal job getting classes taken. I mean, we take a bunch of people when we travel, and we pull 20 plus people out of the school for a school day. When we pull out at 11, that's a lot of people you got to confiscate when you got 2,200 kids in your school. And I just appreciate the administration for taking care of us and letting us leave at the time we left, and taking care of our classes, and just, I mean, it's a full week of work to get everything scheduled for one day. I mean, it's the whole day trip. And we stopped at we drove straight to Maryville and stopped at Maryville College, and they accommodated us well and did everything. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better trip and a better day. First of all, my seniors are wonderful. This is one of the best senior classes I have. It's not coach talk or coach speak. They were pleasant to be around at practice. They were pleasant to be around the weight room. They were just always wonderful to be around. I usually hug on them, but I couldn't hug on them last night because I was hurt. Because I'm really going to miss this group, because they did everything we asked. They set the standard on everything we did. I've never been more proud of a senior group to believe in our standard and really exemplify it every day at practice. The kids are good kids in the school. The senior class are really good kids, and they do a good job, and they're leaders, and they do what they're exposed to in the school. And we didn't have a lot of distractions this year. And that's what tears you up as a coach when you got a group like this that you just love, enjoy being around. And I just wanted to, when you walk on the practice field with this group, it was just so much fun, and they enjoyed it. And that's what some of the seniors said last night. It was like, Coach, this year was so much fun. And I can't thank them enough, and each and every one of them and their parents for letting it be enjoyable. But yeah, sorry, I got on a tangent.
No, it's all good.
But yeah, we did. We played well for three quarters. Kids played well. Kids fought hard. I think the first half that we got, we were playing not to lose, and we weren't playing Riverdale football. And that's on me. I didn't prepare them enough. And maybe I didn't do, just getting them. Going to Maryville and playing is different.
Yeah.
And obviously I talked to Kriesky a lot this past week, just try to get some help. And when he told me they've only had one home playoff loss in 25 years, one home playoff, that's impressive. And I knew it was going to be a tough battle, and we would score, and we'd get right there on their heels, and they would punch right back. And they had a lot of fight in them. Coach Hunt does, Derek, he does a phenomenal job, and he runs a great program. And, it was good measuring stick for our program. Mm-hmm. I think we're right there. We're right there. We got to there's things we got to fix in our program and get better. But we're right there. We're right there. And, I'm not complaining about the playoffs. I know a lot of people are complaining about playoffs and knew this, but this is what Rutherford County coaches voted for.
That's what I was going to say.
This is what we voted for. We're the ones that wanted this. And, now you got to fight your tail off not to get 3 in the region if you don't want to play Maryville in the second round.
Yeah.
That makes the stakes higher in our region. And, that Blackman game in week 3, that was huge. You don't realize at week 3 how big of a game that was.
Oh, it was gigantic.
Yeah, it was huge. A week 3 game that huge. And but the kids, our line played well, D-line played well at times. First half we struggled a bit. Now that guy's their quarterback. I see why he's up for Mr. Football, Jones. He's a good football player. Blackman.
Saw him last year and thought that he's going to be special.
Yeah, and if Maryville runs through Riverdale, Blackman, and Oakland, then they're a daggum good football team, and they deserve to be in the state championship. If they do that, they deserve to be in the state championship. And I think going through, no offense to Maryville, but I'm glad they're going to have to go through this road. I just want to see how they handle up.
I said the same thing when people ask. Well, that was the first question. Why are we playing East Tennessee teams so soon?
Yeah.
And there was a change in the playoffs, and then my comment has been, well, if Maryville's going to do what they've done in many years past, they're going to have to go through Rutherford County to do it, not just once.
Yeah.
And so. Part of the reason to make that change and the coaches here voting for that, what was the reason? At least you don't have to play each other all the time and to get to the quarterfinals.
Because if we didn't have the Maryville, the playoffs would have been changed. Blackman would have played Green Hills and we would have played Oakland last night. Mm-hmm. And we just played Oakland.
Yeah,
we just played Oakland, and I don't mind playing Oakland, but we just played them. I think it's just better.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Let's play somebody different. If we make it to the semifinals and play Oakland, so be it. That's what it should be. And not having to play. Last year we played a good Blackman team in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would have beat that Maryville last night, we'd have played Blackman in the quarterfinals, and that's okay because they earned their way. They played a good East Tennessee team, Dobbins Bennett to beat them, and then if we'd have been fortunate enough to beat Maryville, that's what it should be. 2 and 3 see each other in quarterfinals of our region.
Instead of playing yourselves in weeks 2 and 3, you play yourselves in weeks 3 and 4.
Yeah.
If the region is good enough to get there. So. You were talking about this on the way in. We've made many trips to Maryville, and even for the broadcasters in that outside press box that when it's been cold. But you walk in, and it's like you're going into a vacuum.
It's different, yes.
Because it's small. It's kind of like almost feels like in a bowl. And then what do you see as soon as you walk in? That entire wall full of state champion this year. And man, they packed the place.
That place, we got off the bus at 5:00, and that stands was almost halfway. People were going to their seats.
Yeah.
At 5:00, we were unloading the bus, and I couldn't. There was ticket takers taking tickets. They were letting them in. People were everywhere at 5:00, and yeah, it's terrible. I'm miserable that we lost. But to take my kids and let them be a part of something like that in that atmosphere, our sideline was from me to you. That's how tight our sideline. Everything about that place. I look up and the cheerleaders are right behind me in the coach's box, and it just everything about that place is different. They designed it well just to throw you off. They did a good job.
And the visitor stands are your stands are almost right there.
Yeah, I heard every bad call I made last night, But that's what they did a good job designing their stadium and making it very uncomfortable for the visitors. And when you walk out and walk to your locker room, you're going through their crowd. They don't do you any favors. And the stadium, it's neat. And it's different, and it's on top, like you said, it's on top of each other, and it's a very different place to play.
Yeah. Well, I know that we've had some battles with them. Riverdale has as well. 2009, 2011 was when there was a great run to the semifinals for many years.
And that's how, now that's how old I am. I was there for both those games.
Yeah.
Both those games.
I was there too.
I was there for both those games, and I remember both of them. One of them, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I wish we had our quarterback.
Oh, I said it last night on the air.
If one of them, if we would have had our quarterback, I think we might have won.
Woodard?
Yeah, Woodruff.
Woodruff. Yeah.
We might have won state that year.
Yeah.
So because Maryville ended up winning. Now in 2009, when they beat us, they ended up getting beat by White Station in the championship.
And that's a case of having to play through your brutal region again, and he got hurt in the quarterfinal game right before that.
Towards ACL, and then the next year. Stockstill tore his ACL against us.
Yeah.
And they played Maryville without their starting. Well, Stockstill played, but on the torn ACL.
Yeah, and MCL. I watched that
Yeah.
game 2 weeks ago, and man, what an effort!
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what these are memories that your guys have been able to make to go to a place like that. But I'm sure that you and your coaches come away with, and not for your seniors necessarily, they got to experience it, but for your underclassmen, a chance to say, we want Riverdale to be this tough to come play. You've got a measuring stick.
Yes, and that's what I told y'all last week. I wanted to go and see where our program is.
Yeah.
I wanted to go. 10 years ago, we'd got blown out. We'd got blown out of the water going to Maryville. And that wasn't the case. The kids believed. The kids had a great week of work. The kids bought into everything we did. And it was. For 3 quarters, we played Maryville well. We got to get it to where we play them well for 4 quarters, and we got to believe. And when things don't go our way, we got to keep fighting and keep going and keep trusting each other and keep tugging on each other and keep going. And I felt like at times, man, when we got down, we got a little too frustrated. And like you said, that's part of being at Maryville and at that place.
Well, and we've got Will Kriesky on this morning talking Riverdale football. They come down and score on the opening drive, I believe.
Yes, they did.
And missed the extra point.
We blocked it. Zayden did a good job. He blocked one against Oakland. Zayden, the senior again. He just special teams, man. You can't ask more effort. I mean, a lot of kids just don't go hard on the extra point, and he's always going hard.
It makes a difference.
Yes, and it
forced
did.
them to do something on the second touchdown.
Yes. They started having to go for 2-point conversions.
Yeah,
and missed the first one, and So, but yeah, they took it down and scored, and then we drove it up. We got the ball and drove it, and then threw an interception. They picked the ball off, but we didn't get too rattled. And then they drove down and scored, and then we.
So it was 12-0 at that point.
12-0, and it was 12-0 for a while until the end of the second quarter. It's something I wrestled with. 4th and 1, we kick a field goal or on the go. Should we?
I was going to ask you about that because it was 4th and 1, but you on the road at Maryville decide to go for it on 4th and 1. You get it, don't you?
Oh no! So right there, 4th and 1 on the goal line, we
not the goal line. It was earlier, about the 30.
Yeah, it was at the 30, and that was I did. That's what my coach has been calling me the last 3 weeks, Kevin Kriesky, because I've gone for so many 4th down. I went for it for a lot. I did it at Lebanon, and I just feel like that's a backbreaker. When you get those 4th and 1s, that's a backbreaker, and. We did. We went for it early, and it's a tough call, but. And sometimes in those situations, you got to do it. You got to keep the ball out of their hands, and so.
It happened to you in the Battle of the Borough, didn't it?
Yes, it did. When it works, it's good. When it doesn't.
Well, what was this? It was 12-something at halftime.
12-3. So we ended up kicking a field goal. We were on the 1-yard line, and we missed it on 3rd down. We didn't have any timeouts with 12 seconds. And if we would have had a timeout, we would have been able to run it on 3rd down. We did not. That was on me. I told Coach Barnes, I said, just quick pass, let's get something, and let's get in the end zone. If we don't get it, because I felt like we were getting the ball coming out of half.
Yeah.
We needed, and we've done a good job with getting the ball out of half and driving and scoring. So I just said, look, we got to get some points right here. So I chose to kick the field goal, whether right or wrong. But then we did what we expected, and we come out of half, and we drove down and scored and made it a 10-12 game. And, it was for the 3rd quarter, man, we had a little mojo behind us and a little fight.
What was the play or two in that second half that, like you said, it was a 2-point game there?
Yeah, what they got us, there were some 3rd and longs. They broke our back. We would have them, and we'd have them stopped. And the quarterback ran. Yeah, he ran for a 30-yard touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Mm. And they didn't run him. They didn't run him all year, which they didn't have to. Look at their schedule. They didn't have to run him. Their toughest game was week 1 of Alcoa. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, like I told you, I talked to Kriesky, and I said, what do you think they're going to do different? He said, they're going to run that quarterback. He said, they'll run the quarterback. And he was 100% right. They ran the quarterback, and they ran him well. And he's just as good as runner as a passer. He's a good kid. And he's just a junior. So
wow, thanks.
Yeah, I'll see him again next year.
Will Kriesky with us this morning talking Riverdale football. there are so many kids, and there's no way that we can go through your 100+ kids and talk about them. And you've talked about your seniors, and more than happy to continue to do that. But I did want to say a couple of your kids. I would talk about Hampton in a second. He's been phenomenal this year, but Jacob Vaughn caught light in a bottle. I mean, he's just been phenomenal the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's grown up. Good ball player, and is going to be a good ball player and has a bright future. Again, like I said last week, I just got to get him. He does what he's supposed to in the weight room. He just doesn't love the weight room yet, and that's most teenagers.
I would imagine.
You know what I mean? Most teenagers, but it's not like he's a distraction or anything. He does what he's supposed to. But I just want him to get a little bit bigger, and gain some weight, thicken up. Because we're going to count on him the next few years running between the tackles, and we have to keep. As you can see, he's pretty fast, so we got to keep him healthy.
Yeah, that's true. And Hampton is. You look at him from 1 week to the next. If you miss like seeing Riverdale for 3 weeks, you came back and said, "Well, where was this?" Or where is this quarterback come from? And you see him 3 weeks later, and it's like you saw him grow so much this year.
Yeah, and like I can't brag on my assistants enough. My assistants do a phenomenal job. Where I don't even I just try to stay out of their way. Mm-hmm. When I get in their way, I screw it up. They Coach Barnes. I mean, just look at week 1 where we started against Knox Catholic and where we finished.
Yeah.
If we would have played Maryville week 1, it would have been ugly. You know what I mean? And Coach Barnes all those guys on the offensive side do a phenomenal job getting those guys improved each and every week. Coach Rail and defensive staff, they do a phenomenal job. On the defensive side, Coach Rail will be, he's going to be miserable until next August, just because giving up 46 points. That's that's his DNA. Like he'll be tore up, and he'll be working, and he'll be doodling on his notepad, probably right now. That's just how he functions, because he wants to know how to stop. Like he believes that he should stop every single team, and that's the mentality he has. And he'll be frustrated for a while, and he'll work on it, and he'll find ways to improve. And when you got coaches like Coach Barnes and Coach Rail leading your defense and offense, you're in pretty good shape, because those two guys are head coaches. And they're head coaches their side of the ball, and it makes my job a lot easier. And then they got good assistants that run their positions like head coaches, and it makes my job easier, so much easier. They handle the discipline, they handle all the issues, and again, I can't brag on it. I mean, they're away from their families. I mean, football, man, once we get going, they're away from they're away from their family. And my staff has a bunch of little kids, so they're away from their little kids, and that bothers me. That hurts, because I got 3 little kids, and I know how much it means for their dad to be around and stuff. So,
but what memories that they get to make on a Friday night?
Oh, they love it. They love it, and they love to come hang out, and they love. All our kids, the Barnes kids, my kids, the Rail kids. Coach Haley's got some now, and it's all of them, and they're all Coach Pelchat's 2 boys. It's Coach Bond. There's little kids everywhere. I think it stresses Miss Blair out on home games, because we got 20 little kids just running around, eating candy and popcorn and just tearing up that turf. But it's, like you said, it's a blessing for them kids to be around and be around us. And, I love it. I love my group. I just love where I'm at. It's a good place.
Well, I know that coming in the day after something like this, it's very raw and lots of emotions and that kind of thing. First of all, I want to thank you for coming in this morning. Go to Maryville, come back and do this. I think your brother, who's next up, had a little longer trip, but
he got it. He didn't get in too far behind me. I think it was like 30 minutes behind.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
They must have been motoring.
Yeah, we did. We had a little. We had to pull over and put antifreeze in our charter bus. So,
oh wow.
So yeah, we had a little issues.
Those are the things that people they never hear about. They never know.
No,
some of those fun things on a road trip.
No, in our booster club, I can't brag on John Lewis and Richard Gibson and all those guys. I mean, our kids ate. They ate sandwiches before we got on the bus. They ate a pregame meal, and they ate pizza on the way home. So again, it takes a village to run a program, and for everybody that's been involved that helps out, between our trainer Robbie. Like Robbie works around the clock this time of year with all the injuries. it's so many people that's involved in our program that helps us to help make sure that we're successful.
We'll always appreciate it. I know coming in every Saturday morning here, but we love to be able to give coaches the chance to brag on their kids. I know it's called the Coach's Corner, but it's really kind of a bragging corner, if you know.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going to brag on Riverdale as much as I can, and not just about football, but everything. I mean, Riverdale's got it going on, and Miss Blair's got it going on at Riverdale, and that's a great place to be. And, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be at Riverdale.
Appreciate you coming in
Thank
this
you.
morning. Thanks, and congrats on a great season. Can't wait to see what 2026 has in store.
It'll be here before you know it.
It will.
I'm already planning a trip to Knoxville already on August. So.
Well, I guess that's right,
Yep.
yeah. That's Will Kriesky joining us here this morning on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Ideas Tees. They'll be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com.